Hey, what up guys? How you doing? Welcome to a new episode of The Road to Glory, episode number 73. And now I haven't really been on this account too much over the past few days. So what you're going to see is last week's marquee matchups, like a couple of them, as well as some of the St. Paddy's Day stuff and my weekend league rewards. So today's episode is once again like a full SBC and rewards version. No gameplay in today's episode. The last episode we did play like 5 games though, and tomorrow's episode we'll also play a couple of games. We'll get back into Division 2, so look forward to that one. So we start off with what was, I think this was literally like, was this last Monday or last Tuesday's marquee matchups? Well, I didn't do them until a lot later in the week, just before, I think, did I do them a lot later in the week? Let me see in the bottom left corner when we move on. How long? 3 days remaining. I don't know. I just did them when I got around to doing it then. So this is either Tuesday or Thursdays or Fridays marquee matchups. I'm not 100% sure. But I had quite a lot of the players in my club. There were 1 or 2 players that sort of did cost me a little bit. But other than that, it was quite easy and quite simple to get done. For not the best rewards, obviously, like I like marquee matchups when there's a really, really sick pack up for grabs. And this one wasn't too bad, but we got a mega pack. So a 35k pack as opposed to what I like, you know, the prime pack and whatnot. But there's still 5 packs to open, of course, which is typically what you get with marquee matchups. The first one, we do get ourselves this Spaniard guy. Like, he's nothing amazing, nothing like special or really to write home about. And then just a few different players. We get a bronze who plays for Montreal Impact, I believe, in the MLS. So I either try and sell him on, or at some point he'll be useful. In my silver pack, I do get a Russian goalkeeper from the Russian league, who I will eventually go to sell on for a few hundred, maybe even 1,000 coins. Because some of those players are relatively expensive. It's these types of silver player packs that you just don't even really know until like way down the line when an SBC comes out that boom, actually, I've got a couple of players that will either 1, help me complete this new SBC, or 2, that just sells for loads. So, you know, that's always a good thing to just store in the club. And you'll notice we've been doing that quite a lot lately. I like to just, even when I've done like marquee matchups like this, I've probably spent money, and then I used to be the type of guy that was like, okay, I need to spend my money, do the marquee matchups, hopefully get something alright, and then sell stuff so that I at least break even, and then hopefully there's a few things left in the club. But lately I've just been like spending the money to get marquee matchups done and all the SBCs done, and then just stuffing all the players in the club just in case, because I know that it's going to really help out for future SBCs, I hope anyway. If it doesn't, and I think that actually I'm just hoarding players for no apparent reason, then I'll flog them, because I think at the end of this episode I start with roughly the same coins actually as I end with roughly the same amount of coins as I started with loads of stuff in the club, because I went ahead and sold a bunch of bronze stuff. You'll see it later on in the video, of course. But after doing that marquee matchups, you'll see the packs weren't that great. Thursday came around, and it was FUT Champions reward time, of course. Brilliant. And we did play a few games. We played 5 games and won every single one of them. So we got 7.5k and a 25k pack. So I was pretty happy with that, just literally for 5 games worth of effort. And unfortunately, we don't get the greatest of reward. We get Alejandro Gomez. So an upgrade, or a ratings refresh player, who's actually a very good player on this game. But this particular version isn't that amazing. Like, his informs are what's really good on the game. But other than that, just a few players that I know will come in handy at some point in time. And then on Friday night, or Thursday, no, it was Thursday night, I think, all of the St. Paddy's Day stuff went live, meaning that I could do the KEANE SBC. That was one of the things which came out. Now, it's a new Legend SBC, and this series really started popping when we did the SBC for Petit, and I got crazy pack luck or something. So I always do like these SBCs quite a bit, but this one was really simple, and it didn't really cost too much either. You'll see the sorts of prices I paid for the players. A couple of K for the Man United ones here, and then the Irish guy in there is also 2,000 or 3,000 coins, because you have to have them in there, like, so their price is obviously gonna inflate. But we do get a 20 game Roy Keane and a prime gold players pack, as well as 2 7.5k packs, I think. So actually that was quite a good reward as well for the legend SBC. And Roy Keane looks to be a bit of a beast as well. Like 71 pace and shooting are probably the stats everyone's going to see and be like, oh, he looks rubbish, doesn't he? But he has got 86 defending and 90 physical, so I think he could do a job for us in one of our teams. We'll literally chop and change him as and where we need. So a whole bunch of stuff sold, but you'll see I'm only on like 8.5k. That's because at this point in time I wanted to clear the transfer list, put my regular Luke Shaw back, by the way. I bought another one for the SBC. I didn't get rid of the one that I've got like 80 games played on. No. And then I buy that Spanish keeper. He was the last person I needed to buy to complete the latest marquee matchups, which is, of course, this Friday night's one. Out for a few days, probably not even out by the time you're watching this. It might have just about expired. But I was able to complete this with a few players from the club. I did have to buy quite a bit. I think I spent like 27,000 coins or 28,000 coins, which seems quite a lot. But some of them Mexican league players and like the French league players, with the requirements, you had to basically use them, meaning that those player prices really did increase quite a bit, which is unlike marquee matchups and stuff. Quite a lot of the time, there's a load of room for like different routes to go down and stuff like that. But it wasn't really the case in this particular marquee matchups. But for doing this one, we're going to get a rare players pack. Really good marquee matchups this week, 50k pack, and some coin bonuses along the way. And what I did was I did that marquee matchups literally straight after the Roy Keane SBC. So I'm now going to open all of the packs from that at the end of this video, and that's going to wrap up today's Road to Glory. So we get a silver players pack. I see someone from the German Bundesliga, the Portuguese league, and I saw an Irish silver in there that will definitely sell for a couple of K, so not too shabby there. This particular pack wasn't great, although we get a Premier League player in Leroy Fer, who's actually a bit of a beast when you look at his stats. But other things in that pack, well, we get a Brazilian from the Serie A, we get a rare Spanish silver, so not too bad there as well. And then premium gold pack number 2, another 7.5k pack. Didn't get a rare, but we do get someone like players like that, little non-rare Portuguese right backs. They're always players which sell for a bit because for some reason fullbacks seem to have a high price. And then 2 players from the French Ligue 1, who I know that left mid would definitely go up in price because of the marquee matchups. Next pack, we go ahead and pack another French player. It's actually Cyprien, who is someone we brought in to our second team. So I decided at this point in time, you know what, we've already got him in the club. He's a duplicate. Nobody else in that pack was particularly like noteworthy or anything, but they're all players that are probably slightly above discard. I stuck that Cyprien in my club and put the one that I purchased back onto the market. Next pack, a Spurs player, which is obviously useful for the Player of the Month SBC and Kudu. So he comes into the team. I'll probably end up selling him as well, whilst he might have a slightly higher price. Although I'm not sure whether his price is stupidly high or not, because there'll be so many of him that it might, like, you know, supply and demand. You know how all that works. We do get a massive flare there, and we get the upgraded Thiago Alcantara, 85 rated Spaniard who plays for Bayern Munich. So actually a pretty good pack there, but unfortunately I don't think he really sells for much, so he's someone that can definitely chill in the club. We might even make a team with him at some point in time, because I do quite like him on this game. And now we're on to the 2 big packs. Prime pack, small friggin' flares. Unfortunately, we get an 81 rated rare Spanish gold. I haven't had a good prime pack in ages. It's really annoying. We get Goretzka just before he turned into a man of the match for a few days, so that kind of sucks as well. But I imagine his price is slightly heightened, and Coziello in that pack will also go for a bit. And then that is my 50k pack. Carnesis, a Greek goalkeeper who plays in the Serie A. That kind of sucks. I was definitely hoping more from my 50k pack, to be honest. Now, what you'll also notice is that I haven't done any of the pot of gold SBCs. I haven't even done the green team SBC to get the kit, because one, everyone seems to have the kit, and I don't really like green kits on this game. because it makes it more difficult. They look like the pitch, right? And then this is what my transfer list looks like at the end. You'll see that we are back up to the coinage that we sort of started with almost a week ago, you know, getting towards that 50k, and I've sold quite a lot of the Irish players on. I've sold some duplicates on. I've also sold some French players and some Ligue 1 players on as well, because they are at a heightened price right now. Cyprian duplicate I sold. Karnezis is Greek, and that's one of the marquee matchups requirements. So Mexican players, Irish players, just players that have a slightly more value right now than they normally would. And I'm done with St. Paddy's Day stuff. I'm not going to bother getting myself that green kit and then the untradeable green player, because they're just the same as their regular players. So I don't see any of them coming into my squads. So I've decided to not go down that route. Hopefully that doesn't hurt me later on and you need one of them green players for something. And I've just decided that to sell some of the bronze players, the ones that weren't just 200 coins, and I got quite a bit of coinage from them, I'm not going to lie. And I have got a godly amount of gold players in this club right now, and we made our money back to where we were at the start. So we've broken even and probably profited slightly, but I've got a load of gold players in the club too. So without getting anything crazy good, some bronze pack method and just by doing the SBCs has helped us to break even and have future profit. If I realise that I should just sell the gold players that I'm not using and not hold on to them for SBCs, because I could just buy them at the time, I don't know whether that's a good idea or not, then I could sell everything for I think about 120k, so I know I've got about that just chilling in the club, which is quite good to have, obviously. But that's going to be the end of the episode. It's not been a gameplay episode, but it's been another area of the road to glory, which is squad building challenges and all of that good stuff that comes along with that. We all like opening packs, right? So if you've enjoyed, please don't forget to smash a like on the video, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.